Hi, hello, everyone. Hey, this is Shivakumar. Once again, welcome you all to our YouTube channel. This time, it's one of the most interesting and one of the most important feature, which is very close to my heart. You guys are guess what? What I am talking about? It is about the connecting dots feature, which we are going to explain in detail. The most important thing is we have made some like an arrangements even on the like a menu board here. We have moved connecting dots like just below the dashboard, so the people who are looking for the connecting dot feature at this juncture, we have given it for the annual plan members, but effective next week it'll also be available under the Go Plus plan, wherein every monthly subscriber will also be able to use it. Why it is all about like a much important feature for me. So if we are able to like an consider this connecting dots, and based on this you should definitely be able to take some good trades, and that should definitely help us to determine whether the market is going to reward us or not. So without much further ado, we will get into that. So click on the connecting dot feature. This we are looking for the date 11/27 as the market closed on Friday evening. So we are doing an like an what to say a post market analysis on how it has been done and what are the things which we needed to watch and so on. Okay, so currently what we have done, we have clearly given the connecting dot feature only for Bank Nifty and Nifty at this juncture. But in future, you might be seeing this getting extended to some of the good high volume stocks as well, because we don't want to give it to any operator-driven stock wherein you're not going to see much of relevance in terms of using this particular feature. Okay, so for Friday, how the market performed, it was like a sideways day. How did we know that it is a sideways day? If you look at the chart, the Bank Nifty like an opened a higher, went and then like an rallied a bit in between, and then like a went above the like an VWAP level for some time, and then in the afternoon session again it came and hit the VWAP, went again higher, went lower towards a closing in. We had like a couple of large algo candles which played the day, and then it winded down. So considering that, it's a tricky one, right? One bearish move, one extremely bullish, one extremely bearish, one extremely bullish. So what are the things which we have considered here? So the signals will be available here. Going forward, we'll also be trying to put in a percentage meter here, which will help us to be determining whether it is like an extremely bullish with like a what percentage and so on. That is something which our team is working on. Soon you will be able to get to see that. So if you'd have seen last week to now, we have made some arrangements. We have moved some columns, and we have also added a column. So this is going to be like it is going to slowly take shape, but more and more we refine it, it is going to be more and more helpful for us to consider and take some quick decisions during the trading day. So at this current juncture, what are the time frames which we are given? 3, 5, 10, 15, 30, and 60. So currently I'm looking at a larger time frame. Why always I keep looking at the larger time frame? Larger time frame provides me an opportunity to see which way the trend and which way the wind is going to blow. That's very important in a day. And if you ask me honestly, this is definitely relevant for us to like and track it every hour to know the larger trend. Okay, here again, we will be able to see the historical data again as we have been doing it in the past. So all you needed to do is historical data and then choose whichever days you wanted to do it. So up to like we have given the data from 9:15. So we are adding like as much as possible. We will see like in case if it is going to like slow down the speed of our like a tool, then probably we might consider like removing some of them and then archiving it as well. But as of now, the data is available since like an inception now. So if you look at the like a data for 11/26, was the day we had the expiry. So 11/26, it was like a clearly a bullish move in the second half, and except like in hardly some moves here and there beyond like in 1 o'clock, we saw that it was like a complete bullish move. In the morning it was just a little bit of sideways. This is on a 3-minute time frame, which 5-minute time frame which we are looking at. We are going to look at like in 16-minute time frame as well. And if you look at it, the market, yes, in the morning it was bearish and then moved into the bullish territory. Let's look at the live data for like a Friday's day, how it has been and so on. Then it'll give us a clear question and how you needed to identify the trend. So the larger time frame is showing me like a sideways day. what if I wanted to look at like a smaller time frame for me to do an intraday trade? I always keen to look at like a what has been happening every 15 minutes. This will be giving me a clear question on like how the move data is getting moved and so on. So how do I need it to like interpret this data? What is this which this red and green and how it is going to be like in impacting my trades and like analysis? This is perfectly fine for you in case if someone who has attended my like in training sessions, you would be knowing like what are the dots which I'm looking for. The first and foremost will be the Dow Jones. So what is it indicating? During that particular Dow Jones, like we will be able to see it in our dashboard whether the Dow Jones is moving higher or lower. We will be able to track it based on the time frame also. So the Dow Jones, what we are seeing it in the dashboard is a 5 minute time frame. So in case if you wanted to track it on a 5 minute time frame, you no need to look at like the dashboard to see what is Dow is doing over there and so on. We can just look at here and what the Dow has done from the previous close to current close. So the Dow move based on that, we have given the Dow. The next one is the VIX. Again, VIX, we have a separate chart to track it, and whether the VIX is moving higher, lower, everything will be available here. If the VIX is showing green here, that means the market, the VIX is going down. If, say, for example, if the VIX would have been at like an, let's look at like a classic example between 916 and 920, the second column. Look at where the VIX was. We will just give a 5 minute time frame here. So exactly at like 9:15. So what has happened here? The VIX has had a deep, like what to say, a bar which went all the way to like a 17 and then like a close somewhere around like a 20. Okay, so from the previous day's close, like it has just opened lower, and we see this is a red candle that got formed. That means the VIX is rising from the lower levels. Do you see this? And immediately, like still, it is unable to cross that level, and it is just like stuck around in that zone now. And the fourth candle, which became a green one, because it just went higher there, and followed by another one. It's falling. So the VIX will be able to give you a clear clue. Let's look at like a larger time frame as well. It's on a 15-minute time frame. Look at this particular example now. The first one was a deep red one actually. From the lower level, it just like inched up. It went all the way to like a 17.5 levels and then like a close somewhere around like a 20 levels. Look at that. And that is the impact which we are seeing it here. We don't want the VIX to be like in climbing. The next one, even though the VIX was like a climbing, this one seems to be falling. Do you see this? And we saw our red one, green one, yeah, sorry. The third one again, look at another fall. And that means it is getting into a bullish territory. The fourth one was like a deep, big red, like a green candle that forced us to be on the red side. And the next one, we started to see like in three consecutive like in red candle. When it is red, you will see green here. And when it is green, you will see a red here. So it is as simple as that. And the VIX the whole day, it was also like in hovering around. For a trend day, I always will consider either on the upside or on the downside, we will continuously see like in green or red continuous flow. Here, one green, two like in one red, two green, one red, two green, and three green. This is not going to be an ideal scenario. Even on a 16-minute time frame, look at this is not an ideal way for me to like take a view based on trend. Okay, if it would have been a trend day, you would naturally see the VIX is also helping a bit, but on a day like this, the VIX is also like a playing and havoc game here, going one candle go up, one candle go down. Then it is not giving you a clear like an indication to you. Coming to the next one, the volume. You may not be like checking the volume like to see like where exactly the market has moved and how many how much volume has been created and where it exactly it moved and so on. What we have simply done is we have helped you on that as well. So you no need to be worried about anything. We will just take care of the volume in the opening minutes with like an it moved much lower, and we didn't had like a much of a volume. It was like only 5 lakh 26, and immediately in the next 1 hour we saw a larger time frame with a long build up. So what we have done, we have clearly predicted to you like whether it is a long build up with a good volume or not. Yeah, it was a good volume. Here again, we are just showing you like a sideways move, because that means these guys are just making a move, but like with a less volume, and it was not having a much of an impact. The next one big one came in somewhere around like a 1430 to 1530. Okay, and look at this. It was like only in the last time frame we got like a maximum volume buildup. And we also like not only look at this, we also look at from the volumes on the chart, and then like we use our artificial intelligence to provide you the data which is going to be relevant here. So for me, when the market is going up, I would love to see the volume also going up along with that, and that will also be like in giving me like a lot of comfort when the rally is participating either on the upside or on the downside. We wanted the participants to join the party so that like it can go further, fuel a rally on like a long or a short build up. And we didn't see much of activity happening during the day, whereas we were able to see the activity during beginning of the day and towards the end of the day. Okay, so this is how I would love to see the volume. Again, you guys know what is the volume requirements, which I used to keep saying that I would love to see like in consecutive candles of like 50K for the Bank Nifty on a 3 minute time frame. I'm 125K on a Nifty on a 3 minute time frame. So if we are looking for like a 60 minute, I would extrapolate that volume based on what I see. So these are the things which I would have been explaining in finer details in the webinar. You would needed to understand what I have told, and then how you needed to interpret this volume data as well. Okay, the next one comes the active strike IV, one of the most important feature. Guys, you might be wondering, why did I see this active strikes IV and trending Y, which has been available to Shiva alone? It is purely because we are currently under the testing phase. So hopefully in a week's time, you should be able to see the active strikes IV also being given to all of you. But at this current juncture, in case if I wanted to track IV, where should you needed to do it? You just needed to look at the OI date, option chain, and then look at like a particular day. You will be able to see the IV data here. So as of now, whenever you see the IV data both on the call and the put side, you know it's going to be like a more of a premium erosion day. And that's what a typical Friday as well happened. So when we were discussing with our mentoring participants on Friday, we were clearly looking at it. It opened somewhere around like a 40 levels, and then slowly to 35, and then went and closed somewhere around 29 and 27. So typically, this is not an ideal day as an option buyer. If you're holding your fort for a too long time due to the like an IV effect, you will naturally lose your premiums on both the sides. And typically, this is the day wherein you just needed to go for a short straddle and make some quick bucks towards a fag end. Imagine if you would have wrote 29,500 in the morning. By end of the day, you would have been able to grasp for around like 100 rupees based on the IV factor alone. And the IV data is clearly suggesting us that as well, right? So for the whole day, like we didn't had much, and towards the day end, the IV data was like showing us, guys, these guys are not giving you any clue that they are wanting to give you and take the market in that particular direction. Okay, so with the IV being said, we have considered it. If it is like a red, it is bearish. If it is green, it is bullish again. Okay, so you got the IV as well. And then the next column is the active strike OI. What is this active strike OI? Whenever the OI buildup is happening, either on like far OTMs or at the money or in the money, we have a formula set inside during using our artificial intelligence to track where exactly the maximum action is happening. As the term coins out, active strike OI, we have termed it in such a way that like wherever the maximum action is happening, we wanted to track it and provide you the closer look at it. And this will keep varying during the day. Why it will keep varying during the day? In the morning, the like an at the money would be somewhere around 30,000. But if the fall is happening pretty quick, and you might see by afternoon the at the money would be somewhere around 29K, because we would have had a 1,000 point fall, we cannot still consider 30K as our at the money strike. And at the same time, the active strike levels cannot be at 30K. It might move, shift lower and lower. So considering all those parameters, we have considered this particular active strike OI. And this is like in one of the key feature along with the active strike, which we have been using our artificial intelligence internally to get the data recorded to you all. Okay, so with that being said, the market was clearly saying between 9:15 and 9:30, these guys were trying to, what does it do, a lot of sell, considering it was a gap up and so on. After that, it became bullish, and then towards slowly we had a sideways move, and that was invisible even in the chart, right? So if you look at it, initially it was like a gap and then like a sell, and then slowly it moved higher, and then after around a 120, we started what to say, from 12:30 to 1:30, we started to see a sell-off happening. So we saw that happening, and then there was a profit booking which emerged over there, and then from there towards the fag end again it got an increase, and then it came down. So it has perfectly captured it on a larger time frame, and that is something which we would be doing it. And coming back to the next one, which is the OI interpretation. So what is the difference between active strike OI and the OI interpretation? OI interpretation will help me to determine whether these guys are aggressively adding in position here, which will help me to determine the levels at which they will be playing. Okay, so this is again important to me. This is like an overall picture which I'm going to get it. So overall picture is going to be you can easily get it like here, but again, I don't know how many of you would be like an extremely looking at the OI statistics which is available, and at the same time the future OI analysis which is also available. This will be giving me a clue. In the morning we had a long build up, right? Look at this. We had a long build up, and like a little bit of short also came into the picture. And look at that. I will just open that separately. But there was not much of like a price move which has happened. In spite of the adding like an almost level like 23, we didn't see much of action happening, and that was also visible in this. The overall Y that got just added there. And followed by that, the real action came in somewhere around 9:30 to 10:30. Yes, we had a good long build-up which has happened, but with the volume, and followed by that another like a red one wherein the OI just came down in because of the short build-up which happened, followed by that a little bit of green. Yes, long build-up happened, perfectly right. And then a red. Yes, there was like a short build-up which happened, and then followed by another green because of a long build-up, and towards a fag end, again you got a short build-up. This is again, we have introduced like an artificial intelligence inside. The first one, if you see it, though it is in green, it still shows like in red here, right? Why? The primary reason is more than the sell. We saw like a lot of people trying to like in short this market right at the open, and you see this in spite of it is a fresh series, and you had like a lot of fresh positions getting created in the beginning of the day. And whenever you're getting to see we would love to see like a market moving with a large volume and a large price change within the opening 15 minutes, which didn't happen the case. So this is where like our artificial intelligence was suggesting yes, we see some like in the what to say, some kind of an trigger point which is happening, and these guys are not using it effectively to take the market higher. And guys, trust me, this is going to be one of the important what to say, interpretation for me, because I would love to see this is getting into a bullish mode and then continuing to the bullish. Then that would have been giving me a lot of confidence. So what are these remaining ones which are not part of this? So what we have done is we have also considered what we have given it in our chart. We have used like a VWAP, our indicators, the key indicators, right? The VWAP is one of the most crucial indicators for me. Many say it is a lagging indicator, but it is one of my leading indicators as well. So we have included the VWAP, we have included the super trend, we have included the RSI. So VWAP, we have kept the default levels. Super trend, we have kept the like in a time frame at 10 2 on like an what to say for a 3 and 5 minute interval. So we have retained that. Why we have retained that even for a larger time frame? Purely because like we are considering all the volume and other aspects as per our 3 and 5 minutes. That's the reason we have retained it. Even this, for us to get a longer time frame, the trend is going to be emerging there, but on a smaller time frame up to like a 5 minutes, you will easily be able to get a clue. If you look at it, the smaller time frame would be clearly giving me the super trend as in like in red, but in a larger time frame it still shows me a bullish scenario. That means still these guys are not extremely confident to take the market lower. Okay, so that is something which I have considered here. Okay, so we have been making some fine tuning here, super trend for a larger time frame. We might be doing it internally in the backend, but always when you're looking for a trade, always look at the smaller time frame. Larger time frames for a positional trader, yes, we can use it, but for a smaller like a time frame, that is going to be very important. Looking at the super trend, and that like a super trend setting would be 10-2. Okay, that is something which we would be considering it. If you look at it, the super trend is at 10-2. And the next one, the RSI, okay, related strength index, we have kept like a levels at like a 80-20. And if you would have seen, it was a surprising one on Friday, considering on a larger time frame, the market didn't move beyond like and below the 50 levels for the whole day. It was very surprising on a larger time frame, though in the smaller time frame, like a 3 minute, you would have seen once it breached like on 40 levels and like a going up to like a 34. But in the larger time frame, we never saw the RSI going below that mark. So a couple of times we had the RSI going to like an what to say around like a 1445 to 1448 is one, and then few occasions between the afternoon. But prior to that, the RSI was continuously staying well above the like a 50 mark. So here again, I may not be able to say exactly where they have done it, but they have some plans for them to keep it higher. And then like it was a bullish scenario for me the whole day on a larger time frame. That's the way I would consider it. And what is this price is all about? The price from the previous 16 minutes, whether it has gone higher or lower. If you look at it, from the previous one, this one, though it might be looking red purely because of like a certain internal parameters which we have set, but after that it would have just like a moved out again on the same time frames. And the last one, the daily trend. What is this daily trend is all about? The daily trend is in case if the market has closed on the previous day somewhere around like 29,000, like the previous day close was somewhere around 29,500 levels, and what if it is trading well above that, then this would definitely be able to track it and tell you like whether it is able to scale up to that level or not, and then the trend is getting changed or not. That is something which we are tracking it here. Okay, so the daily trend will emerge like an historically, like if you look at the data, it will tell you like whether it is going to be giving you a clue whether it is going to move higher or lower or from the previous day close, how it is going to be. And this trend is like an a least important indicator for me at this juncture. But for me, we haven't included the parabolic SAR, but because like the parabolic SAR is not going to give me much relevance in the larger time frame, that's the reason on the chart we would have shown it, but here we have not connected it. Instead, we are using the price on the daily trend. Yeah, but there might be some interesting additions which we might be doing it in the near future. But as of now, this feature, it's just been like in 10 or 15 days old, right? Already we have been getting to see like an amazing results. But what we are trying to do is we are going to fine tune it more and more till we see like an at least like a 90 to 95% accuracy. Currently, I would say like somewhere around like 70 to 75% accuracy. And I would request all of you just to stay caution, not like an what to say be aggressive based on this dots and other things. I would like warn you with an extreme caution. We will not be responsible for your profit or loss, anything which you are going to take based on this, because this is again, it is a process of innovation from our side to make sure we provide as much as possible to give you an accurate information. But we are in the process of developing it, and try to take and trade with caution. Do not just solely behind like an what to say blindly use the charts and like a blindly use this data to just go behind it. We are also working on it to improvise and provide you like a tool which will give you like a maximum clarity in a day. Okay, that is very much important in this market because we know it is getting very volatile, and it is sometimes very tricky for us to be extremely bullish or extremely like a bearish with us certain scenarios. So when you're looking at this kind of a data, how many like an green would help me to be going on long, and how many red would be helping me to go on like an short? The most important dots for me would be like the Dow, the VIX, the volume, and then the VWAP, super trend, and then the RSI. If you are able to do it along with this OI, out of like a 6 or 7, if it is able to give you a clear move, then that should definitely help us to take a clear view. On a day like this, when you're getting like an 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and couple of indicators are not even like a working on, like, and what to say, it is not giving you any clear clue, then it is like a 50-50. Though it is bearish because most of the indicators were bearish, we have given some weightages to each of them, and though based on that, it is going to take a decision. Look at this particular one. The Dow fell, the VIX was like an what to say, it was opposite, and I would have loved to see the VIX going down as well. This is one reason wherein this particular day we were not extremely bullish. If you guys would have been part of the commentary session on that day, even though the market was going down, I was not going extremely bearish actually. Look at this on 26. So this is the chart for the 26. If you look at this, it would have been continuously going down. The VIX was continuously going down, but our market was like showing us as if like the market was as if we are not even like going anywhere, but our market was falling, and the VIX was continuously giving me positive momentum. So this is like a one key important factor. Even though it is bearish, all the data was pointing to me bearish. The reason is they were adding building up positions on the open interest on the call side and everything. But that's something like which was in telling me inside that like why the hell these guys are taking the market lower and lower, but like these weeks were like not even like moving an inch. So that is giving me a clue. So guys, this will also be providing you a clear insight on what you needed to do on a certain day. That's a reason VIX will be like an one important key factor. And in the next 1 hour, you immediately saw the VIX again like in moving up. The Dow moved, and then you saw the active OI and OI interpretation, everything like and staying above. So once that is done, these guys were literally taking the market higher. This is on 26. I'll just move it to like in 1 hour time frame. And look at this. This is what has happened. The first second hour, like, and we had a green candle. So immediately it moved higher. So that's the way I would do it. Interpret the data and use it to my advantage. But in a smaller time frame, use 15 minutes. That's absolutely during an intraday. It'll give you the maximum results. And more the red, more it is going to be falling. Look at this. This is a perfect 10, 10 on 10. So 9:30 to 9:45, when you're getting a perfect 10, you are going to get some follow up. But if you're getting like a what to say in the extreme oversold level, then do not be going and just trying to approach it. So 9:30 to 9:45. Let's look at like on a 15-minute time frame here. Look at this. This is the opening one, and then there's a perfect candle with all the volume and everything, and all we need is just like an one candle move for 9:45 to 10 for us to make money there. This is like an one interesting candle. We had the volume, we had everything in our favor, and one candle move easily we could have made like 30-40 rupees and then like come out of the trade. So someone who's looking for like a 1% intraday returns, a perfect 10 is a, like a perfect opportunity. If you look at this is a 9. So extremely bearish. The one reason is, look at this, the Dow was helping them, and then the active strike OI was not giving us any clue. Prior to that, we had almost like an 8 here, and this one is again an 8 here with like a 2 indicators not being helping them. But this is the area wherein we needed to be really cautioned actually, because 12 to 12:15, look at that. Do you see this? When they are coming down, this particular candle had like a volume of 92, and this one is like 172. It has fulfilled all our parameters. out of 10 out of 8 times you would have seen a follow up, but not on this day, right? What they done, they have trapped the people who went aggressively short on this one. They were not able to break the they even though they break the day's low, they were not able to like and break it consistently, and from here they started to do in reverse, and that exactly played out, and it started to become like a short covering rally and everything. Guys, this is where on certain days, even though the data is giving you all the bullish scenarios, one reason is the VIX was helping them on that particular day. And the next reason is, even though it was bearish, out of 10 times you might be right on 8, 2 times they will definitely try to trap you. This is like a one such scenario. But even here, it is all about like we quickly like an exiting our position and then taking a right trade and then making our money. But look at this particular one, 1245 to 1. This is a perfect green one. So once we get this kind of an perfect one, and with the volume almost like a 222k, with the previous one at like almost like an 133, this is like a golden opportunity for me to stay long on any dip. I would love to go and attack it. That's the way as a player. Once you're not able to get the returns, you needed to quickly adapt, move on to the next one. And well, let's look at this, and look at this actually. 12:15 to 12:30 we had like a bullish move. Yes, and then we had a move, and look at this 2 o'clock move. 12:45, and then the further move came in at around like a 2 o'clock. So they will use all these moves to consolidate and accumulate position, and one single candle, that's enough for you to make money. That's the way we did it on that day. Any dips is a golden opportunity for us to buy, and we were buying it on all the dips. So I hope with this you should be able to help yourself with certain levels wherein you just needed to be confident where you needed to be, and like we are trying to help you out in as much as possible. Okay, these are like an initial things. We will try to like freeze the like an headers so that like we'll be able to like go scroll, and then we will be able to see the data. That is something which is our team is working on it. We will try to do that, and this is the global action which you will be able to see for 3, 5, 15, and then 30 and 60. So we have a couple of more interesting features which is going to be coming up. One is the active strikes IY, and then the trending Y. Once it is done, I will definitely release it to you all. And most importantly, people who are looking for like an we have added like a two more interesting features. The one is like EOD analyzer, and then the heat map. I think this is also going to be very interesting, guys. One of the interesting feature is we are going to provide for Nifty and Bank Nifty heat map as well, something which is going to be very unique, and we will be tracking it with like in certain parameters as well. Okay, so as of now, this we have given it the futures heat map. I hope it might be helping you all in the coming days and months. This is going to be another feature which is going to be added it in next week. So soon you'll be seeing that as well. And end of day OI analyzer, this is again an amazing one for the people who are looking for like in a larger time frame from 9:15 to till date. If I wanted to see a detailed view where exactly and how exactly the things have been happening, so you will be able to see the data here pretty much everywhere. I think in the last 1 month, if you've seen, it's like a more of long nothing, like a since like almost November 2nd, you didn't see any of the short buildup happening. We might have seen some long unwinding and short covering, but nothing seems to be happening on the short buildup. And you know why, right? We had the bigger and the larger pie of like FIs dumping money in India, and that is clearly visible here. So they were completely like a bullish in the last 1 month. So let's see whether things is going to change in the coming 1 month or not. Okay, with that being said, I hope you guys would have enjoyed the connecting dots feature. And pretty soon, I'm going to do another video on the open and eye concept. Watch out for that. That is the one video which has been pending for a long time. But trust me, that we have some amazing analysis done. And then, like, we'll be sharing with a lot of live examples on how you needed to do and track on the open and high concept as well. So connecting dots future, all yours. and we are going to give you like a lot of insight and knowledge in the coming days and months and years ahead. Thanks a lot. Hope you would have loved the video. Please do like the video and then subscribe our like in the YouTube channel, so that we will be happy to share more and more knowledge and more videos to you all. Happy and have a great week and a great weekend as well. Thank you all.